oh, you might, make yourself a man of the people. You're not a smooth lawyer like, most politicians. So go with that man of the people thing. Do your regular guy kind of thing. It's just his shtick, I'm not saying I didn't vote for him. I'm just saying what I see here.
There's
Let's save all this for this. Are we rolling?
Yeah.
We are? We are live and on the air. Okay, we're not live, but it is mid-January. I want to say Happy New Year, Logan. But look at this, man. This is not really so happy. Wow. I mean, everything's just going cray-cray. 1 week it's the drones, and then you get some terrorism in, New Orleans and Vegas, and then now we got the LA fires. What the hell, man? We're not getting off to a good start here.
Nope.
No Santa Claus rally on Wall Street. I mean, the market's hanging in there, but we did not get that Santa Claus rally. Maybe some say, whoa, it happened a little early with the election. There was a little bump right after the election. So could be. We'll see what happens there. But the LA fires, man, what the hell, dude? I mean, there's so many. I mean, everybody's talking about it. I don't know if we're going to be ad nauseum here talking about it too much. I don't know. But, I mean, there's so many levels to this thing, man. I mean, what's on your mind? I got a lot to say, so I want to let you go first on this one.
How do you not know this is going to happen every
Exactly.
year? It's like every year with Tornado Alley, every year hurricanes in Florida and the East Coast. It's expected,
Yeah.
So I'm not. It's not desensitized, I guess, and it's crazy too because it makes me think of Maui.
Yep.
How is this happening?
Right.
You're telling me there's not a U.S. National Guard or a Navy ship that can suck up seawater and spread it across the fire? What seawater can't put out fire?
What's that one group called? That something engineers. Go ahead. Yeah.
So I don't know. It doesn't make sense how it's able to again cross streets and not touch certain plots, but touch other plots. I'm sure there's some kind of prevention for some of them where people are just dousing their shit with water, but. I don't know, it's just oddly, again, just weird things that you see, like garbage cans in the middle of the street, not melted at all, but these horrible blazes burned everything down to the ground. You would think that you'd have some kind of melting on these things, or that, again, they're blue and they're not melting. Blue things aren't melting again. So, I don't know.
Crazy stuff.
Did we start this?
Crazy stuff. Well, there are some people arrested for arson, but they're not acting like they did the whole thing yet.
Granted, there have been little studies done as far as California and the fires that it's a large percentage are all started from some sort of human presence.
Either intentional or stupidity.
Flick on a cigarette. Yeah. So, again, climate change, that was the big thing. The big drum they beat on, and then all of a sudden they started arresting arson. Oh, it was started by arsonists. What happened to your climate change? What happened to that?
Well, yeah, I don't think everybody's let go of that yet, but yeah,
it's slowly not being said anymore.
This has been happening for years, though, right? I mean, this is crazy. You got a mass populated area, then you get these dry spells. Everything's way too dry, so you got way too many people. Everything gets real dry. I mean, and then you get these Santa Ana winds they keep talking about, and it's like, well, what's going to happen? This happened before. And people who are smart enough had a better system in the past with controlled burns and stuff like that. And then the environmental people came and said, "Oh no, you're going to hurt the environment." Well, look what they're doing now. Isn't this hurting the environment? And then all the PETA people. Think about the PETA people for a second. Nobody's talking about that. How many pets have died? Okay, the PETA people, they're your pet. Well, everybody loves their pet. The pet becomes like part of a family. Your dog, your cat. And who knows what they got out there, man? You got chimps and llamas, and it's LA, right? LA County. You never know what the hell's going on out there. So I'm just saying. I mean, yeah, they've done some. And I see that red kind of flame retardant stuff they've been dropping. I mean, that's probably not healthy for the environment either. I mean, wow. I mean, if you needed a dereliction of duty. If you wanted a definition of dereliction of duty, I think Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom, especially Gavin, and the state legislature in California, there's your example. And we got poor working class to movie star people losing their homes, people losing businesses, churches. I mean, it looks like a freaking bomb was dropped. Oh my God! I mean, this. Go ahead, man.
Seen photos of Google Maps before and after type things where it was like a sprawling suburban little metropolis type deal, and now it's just black. Everything's just scorched earth.
Wow.
So then it comes into play. I've heard things about their tram railway or making it like a 15-minute city, and weird shit like that. Kind of like, again, the Maui thing where that was supposed to be some smart city. Now, again, what happened with that? How'd those people pan out? The people that lost their homes in these fires, did they get to keep their land and rebuild? Like, or did they still own it? Or was it that kind of like a big land grab, get everyone out, and government comes in, deem it unbuildable, unsafe, or some bullshit, and then sells it to some big builder, and they do, because they're the government, they can say thing, eminent domain, whatever they call it, same thing. What's happening in South Carolina and the hurricane shit that happened out there? I hear people still ain't got power, no food, no water.
Yeah, we're low on propane in North Carolina.
Shit like that. So
yeah.
why isn't that being, now we're going to pay attention to California, and everyone wants to send money to California, even though there is some, isn't he going through some crazy shit too, where money that was supposed to help homeless people like disappear?
Oh, 20 billion. I think they spent over $20 billion.
$20 billion.
I want to say 24 billion. I heard that number thrown around. So let's say at least 20 billion was spent on the homeless. So, and what did that solve?
Yeah, and they're the ones that created the fire, possibly.
Yeah.
You know,
well,
yeah, there you go. There you fucking go. Full
God!
circle.
So it was a crack pipe. It was,
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
boy.
what the fuck is going on? These guys are gonna get help. You know, before people who've had this. It's so fucked up. And what's even crazier is that this story will disappear within a couple more days. Like as soon as the fires are down, like no more burning. Now it's all clean up and shit.
Okay.
I think you won't hear about it no more.
All right,
It'll be inauguration time.
Yeah.
You know, and then maybe something's gonna fucking happen around that time. Something bigger, a nice big black swan event.
Ooh.
I mean, they still don't want this fucker there. Obviously, we were just talking about the Israel little ceasefire, and they're trying to take credit for it. You know, Biden's trying to take credit for it.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, let's stay with California a little bit, and then we'll get into some of that other stuff there, and Stephen Greer, and bye Anthony Blinken, and bye Joe Biden, and of course, come on down, Donald, and got a lot to talk about. But yeah, I mean, these fires. I mean, there's so many. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. And I'm going to be a little redundant here, buddy. Sorry, but our audience, maybe if you're new to the show, you probably didn't hear me talk about this. Gavin Newsom, he got recalled a few years back, folks. And there was a guy who ran against him. He maybe you're familiar with him, Larry Elder. He's got his own talk show. I think he's a trained lawyer and stuff. And anyway, Larry's a pretty cool dude. I like Larry a lot. And he ran against him. And these people, their whole campaign was, well, Larry Elder, he supported Donald Trump, so he's the black face of white supremacy. Wait, what? What did I just say? Look it up if you think I'm making this shit up. Excuse my French. The black face, Logan, of white supremacy. I mean, Are you talking about doing some pretzel logic there? Are you talking about contorting your brain, contorting facts and reality? And we did a show again, like I think in 2023, and I brought this up at the time about what happened there, and just how poorly Larry Elder was treated there, and the hypocrisy of the rich, white, limousine liberals, especially the George Clooney types. Oh, we're so progressive, and we're so great, you know. And again, Kamala's part black, and she was a U.S. senator. I don't know if there was anybody else, but I looked it up. There's never been a black governor all these years. So you don't like Larry Elder? Okay, fine. Well, why haven't you had a black governor yet in California? Come on, Cali. Come on, the Golden State. Come on. Really? Why? Okay, you don't like Larry Elder. Okay, I get it. But so what? Well, aren't you progressive? What's wrong with you? And you've had some black mayors, Willie Brown, who, you know, Kamala helped him deal with his stress a lot. And he was San Francisco mayor, I think, years ago. There was a guy named Bradley who was L.A. mayor at one time, and then of course the L.A. mayor now, Karen Bass, I think. Yeah. She's African American too. But they've never had, to my knowledge, a black governor. So what's wrong with Anyway, the point is that obviously Gavin Newsom is dereliction of duty. I mean, this guy is a joke. He needs to go. He really does need to go. There's been some controversy. He's getting nervous because there's a bunch of people. Even I'm not even a fan of the dude, but he's a real big famous guy. His name escapes me at the moment. He's on Shark Tank, folks. Those are in the Shark Tank show. Leary, yeah. Leary's even saying that any federal money that comes out of Washington D.C. to help California, there should be something on there basically says you don't get this funding unless Gavin Newsom steps down. So, hey,
I agree.
you know, I mean, the guy's been there many years, and again, that guy, white privileged boy, right there. Okay, his beautiful hair, he's so perfect. Oh my God! Except he doesn't know what he's doing. His dad used to work for, I think, or was real close with J. Paul Getty, J. Paul Getty, who was an oil man. Okay, now they're all against oil because they want to be against oil. They want you to be into EVs and, you know, and green energy and everything. And then the people blaming all this on climate change. You know, it's like, okay, but look what happened because we didn't have the controlled burns. And then water pressure problems, power problems. Then what's the whole insurance company thing? There's a whole insurance thing we got to look into this. Some people were actually dropped from their insurance. Actually, the insurance companies were actually saying, no, well, we can't cover you anymore because they're looking at the government there.
Saying they're not doing preventative measures. And at first I was on the same boat. Like, that's kind of fucked up. How coincidental that the insurance companies dropped their coverage in June. But no, that makes sense. I mean, as much as we might not like insurance companies, they got to make a profit, right? They're not just in there for free money to give out. So yeah, I think California completely they should own that. That it is not the insurance companies. I don't think they've done it maliciously like that. They need to make a profit. They knew this shit was happening or was going to happen because Gavin wasn't. You know, they saw the writing on the wall. Yeah. So I think they pulled out. And as shitty as it is, I don't think I could hold them to, you know. I don't think they're the bad guy in this situation. It is definitely Gavin.
Gavin and the state legislature there. I put them at the top of the list. And you know, California, wake the hell up, okay? You're a beautiful place, beautiful state. It's probably overpopulated in certain parts. Maybe you shouldn't be building in certain areas, you know, out there. I don't know. You definitely got to figure your water situation out. You know, if you don't want to use the salt water from the ocean, then get some, what do they call it, desalinization plants going and get a bunch of water ready. I mean, you know this is coming, okay? I don't mean to be a smart ass, but okay, I love a group called Steely Dan. I don't know if you're from, that might be a little more before your time. And they actually have this great song called Babylon Sisters. And there's that line is in there, like, here come those Santa Ana winds again. Okay, I can't sing, sorry, I wish I could. It's from their Gaucho album. You know what year that came out, Logan? Before you were born. 1980. Okay, so 45 freaking years ago, the Gaucho album came out, Babylon Sisters, talking about those Santa Ana winds. I mean, they know this stuff is going to happen, and when these fires get out of control because things get so dry out there, so there's some things in this life are hard. Calculus, trigonometry, brain surgery, rocket science. This, not hard. Anybody can see this coming, you know what I mean? So I say dereliction of duty, and yeah, I mean, I think Gavin's got to go.
Yeah, I think he'll be out of here soon enough. I think once Trump gets in and just more shades thrown at him, you know, just shit on him some more, he'll eventually. People will wake up and actually see this, or he's just going to step down because at this point, you would think politically he's kind of fucked. There's no real way out of this. So who knows? We'll see. It'll disappear into obscurity here in a week or so, and we won't hear anything of it. And all the people that lost their shit. And I wonder what mineral or what's out there that they wanna try to get up out of the ground.
And Gavin says, you know, he's trying to keep the predatory people want to come in for the land grab. You know, he's trying to keep them away. He's trying to be the man that people are. Yeah. But you bring up an interesting point. You make my mind go to one of your favorites that you always bring up here. I just wonder if BlackRock or anybody like that,
what government contracts
come in, and
who knows?
Whether they're connected to the government, or are they just going to come in and end up buying some of this, you know, this devastated area? You know, BlackRock, or could be Warren Buffett's group, Berkshire Hathaway. They're also into the real estate business. You will see. I don't know about wherever you happen to be, but you'll see, you know, a house for sale and it says Berkshire Hathaway on there. It's like, Warren, really, Warren? You own so much fucking shit. You gotta. Oh man, I'm a capitalist, folks, but that's where you get to, like, I don't know, it's monopoly capitalism. Super. Anyway, we'll talk about that another time. So Trump coming in here in a few days, as of this recording, folks, and Biden, bye Biden. Oh my God, it sounds like was it Backstreet Boys, or I don't know who those groups that bye. Well, actually, it's like an old. I think of an old Todd Rundgren song. Na 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 na. Hey hey hey. Goodbye, Biden. Goodbye, buddy. Don't let the door hit your old decrepit white ass on your way out, buddy. I don't know. I'm sure we'll reference him. I mean, 50 freaking years in government.
And nothing good.
Again, folks, the people that hate Trump, that's fine. You don't like him, but guys, he's only been there 4 years. Now he's coming in for another 4. We'll see what happens. But Biden and his ilk, that whole ilk, there's a whole bunch of them. The whole bunch from Mitch McConnell and the late John McCain and Strom Thurmond and Ted Kennedy. I mean, there's so many of them. Some of those guys are gone now, but there's still a bunch from there that are there 20, 30, 40, and they're going to go for Biden's record of 50 years. I don't know if he's got the record or not. I don't know. In the current form, as far as federal government goes, yeah, Senator, VP, 4 years as president. Wow, holy cow. And just so you folks know also, especially for the young people, want to look stuff up, if you're in college or whatever, once upon a time, the media, I mean, they were corrupt and they were always liberal, left-leaning stuff, but I mean, they embarrassed Joe in '88, and he got out of the race real quick. He was plagiarizing, he was lying about all kinds of things, and they did their job. The media actually did their job, and his campaign never got off, and he got out of there real quick. But anyway, it is what it is. You always like to think we're always going to get better, Logan. We're going to get better, we're going to improve, but also sometimes you don't. You fall back and you go back the other way. You regress sometimes. So anyway, goodbye, Joe. I'm curious to see. He's done a lot of pardons. Obviously, Hunter, very controversial. I'm wondering if he's going to do any of his brothers. I'm wondering if he's going to do, you said Fauci's on your mind. I really kind of wonder about that. Or any other high-profile people connected to the government and or his family. I'm really kind of real curious about that also.
I would think anyone a part of the January 6th committee, like Cheney. Ms. Cheney.
Oh, Liz Cheney, yeah.
So I see people like that possible. I mean, he's done supposedly he's done the most of any president of pardons.
Yeah.
He's still got with 4 days left. So we got Trump's little party ram jam thing happening the day before inauguration. So maybe he'll make a bunch of pardons that day.
Yeah, while everybody's watching that, he'll be signing a bunch of stuff.
Something crazy is gonna happen to be able to sign off on a bunch of shit that no one's gonna see until after the fact.
God forbid. But boy, PBD, he just covered that too. He had somebody from, oh boy, I can't remember his name. He had somebody on, did you see that? They played it like, again, they didn't like the way the guy said it. And again, it was one of those things, Logan, where is it something, is it nothing? But yeah, you want to check that out, or anybody else wants to check out PBD, he was playing this thing from a press conference. And it was one of, his name escapes me at the moment, I'm sorry, folks, one of Biden's national security director, I think, a person. And the guy said something like, well, I just want to say, I want to thank all of you. This should be my last time here unless God, the guy goes, unless something catastrophic happens. I'm paraphrasing here, and it was like, and it was, they played it twice. And I think Adam didn't think it was anything big, but Vinny did.
It's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch it, folks, again, the body language is awkward. It's a little weird, but hopefully it's nothing. But I am concerned. And you said even radio talk show host and former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino.
Yeah, he's made a bunch of comments about it, like bad idea. You can't trust Secret Service, really. Essentially, they're not in it to protect Trump, I guess. I mean, let's his first attempt that disappeared, swept under the rug pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
We knew more about what was happening with these recent school shooters, and this guy blew himself up in Vegas, supposedly. We know more about these guys' lives than we do about this 20-something-year-old shit kid who...
Yeah, Thomas Crooks, I think was his name, something like that.
So, again, who knows? It's one big media cycle. Everything we talk about today disappears, by the time this goes up. It's like it's non-talking points anymore. It just disappears. I don't know, the ADD.
Yeah, ADHD. Masses. Yeah, we all got it.
It is horrible. Important things are getting kind of swept up under the rug that we should want answers to, like Maui, the shit that happens in Carolina, what's actually going on, and like all these things that are just disappearing. What about the drones? That was a big thing fucking weeks ago.
Yeah.
And they all just, what, they disappear? Did they go away? Do we not see them anymore? You think we'd have like a national day of celebration that the fucking alien drone things are gone? We didn't know where they were going. We didn't know what they were doing. You think you'd be happy?
Yeah.
You think you'd talk about that? But it doesn't exist anymore. That's why I think it was like acclimation. We're just getting used to the idea that you're going to see these things. And now if they pop up again, remember that happened before? It's fine. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Creepy. Very creepy. And Dr. Stephen Greer, buddy, come on now. I was defending you to Logan and all my other peeps out there, my homies. I was telling them about, you said something big was going to happen here in early January. I don't...
Still got 4 days.
You're right. Could be. I mean, he was implying, I don't know, they were going to come out with some, blockbuster information to totally make it official that aliens are real, as the UFOs are, all legit, and, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. He says he's got all these whistleblowers, but I haven't seen anything. Dr. Stephen Greer, I'll have to look for him. Lots of acrimony going on, Logan. We got, I don't know, was it Georgia State House, the state government, that some guy shoved one guy to the floor there, and then the securities, you just showed me, they just all stood and got in the way. There's some stuff going on in Minnesota. We'll get to all these things and more in future shows. Nancy Mace, and back to the House of Representatives now. Her and I don't know if it's Jackie Crockett. I forget what her name is, from Texas. Both really cute. And I don't know. Nancy Mace wanted her to come outside. Like, I have a cat fight here. I would love to referee that. If you ladies need any help with that, just give me a call, okay? So with Biden leaving, and thank God he is leaving. Oh my God, I don't know if we'll reference him or not, because he was really something to see senility, And then once in a while, though, they give him some elixir. All of a sudden, he would talk. He would be there, And I know you were concerned about doubles and masks and all kinds of.
I'm not convinced.
Interesting stuff.
It doesn't much matter now, does it?
Hopefully not.
You would think.
Hopefully.
I mean, I think it matters. We should know if we're being lied to about that shit, but whatever.
It's a mad world, buddy. It is a mad world. So Anthony Blinken will be leaving too, folks. And if you're not familiar, that's our Secretary of State. It's kind of a big deal, especially on the international stage. This is a guy who should be negotiating peace and helping, the world stay calm and stable. And I think this guy has just been a total warmonger, and I think he has connections to what you want to call it, the military-industrial complex. I think he does, and that's probably where he's going to end up. He's going to be a lobbyist, or he'll go on the board of one of those big companies that gets all the defense contracts. And so it'll be interesting to watch Anthony Blinken and see if does he show up? Does he run for president in 2028? Ooh, because we're talking the Democrats. I mean, they are kind of like the Jews. When the Jews get thrown into the wilderness for 40 years, and they have no leader right now. I mean, they're really kind of lost. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Dems. But Blinken, I thought he was just a joke. The situation with China is not really better. Our whole situation with Mexico, we need to obviously improve upon that. This whole thing in Ukraine is just, it's disgusting, folks. It's awful. And I really want that to get resolved right away. Good news is, as Tony's leaving, now Trump made a threat. Logue, you were talking about that, and that, that's pretty cool. He said there was, well, I shouldn't say pretty cool. We'll see what happens here. He said they'll be held to pay if the hostages aren't released in Gaza by Hamas back to Israel, by the time he gets in. So there is some deal that has been struck. I don't know. We'll see if it works out, if it really plays itself out. It's supposed to be in stages, in these 6-week stages. So there's a lot going on. We'll see what happens, or if that won't be fast enough for Trump. I really don't want U.S. troops. I'll just say this. I don't want U.S. troops to get involved in that, personally.
Well, I hope he doesn't.
I
hope he does something. I mean, if they're going to sit there and drag this out for another month and a half, fuck that. Go in there and do whatever. At this point, you've had, what, over a year?
Well, yeah. It happened October 7th, 2023 is when it originally happened.
Let's have some resolve to this issue.
And so many of the hostages have died already, too.
If there's any left.
Yeah, I mean, there's supposed to be some alive still. That's what we're told. So hopefully they are freed as soon as possible. And, we want peace. We're all for peace here, folks. I do think that Teddy Roosevelt thing is true, though. You do need to carry a big stick, though. Speak softly, but carry a big stick. That's the old Teddy Roosevelt thing. I do agree with that. I think President Trump agrees with that. I really, my big thing is I don't want World War III. I keep mentioning that on our show. I won't say any more today on today's show, but that is the concern. And back to Blinken, I mean, I just think he's not a man of peace. I mean, this guy I think he's probably fanned the flames, if nothing else. He's also been kind of a dereliction of duty as well. Kind of a funny note, though, Logan. I just want to share this with our audience a little bit. I don't know if we have any blues fans out there. I'm more of a rhythm and blues guy, not really a blues guy. Are you a blues guy at all? No, not really. I'm not. Yeah. But this is kind of interesting. So I'm watching the CBS Sunday morning special about Anthony Blinken. And it was pretty much a fluff piece. You know, they're giving him, oh, he's leaving now, and talked about how he worked for this president, that president, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but he's also a musician. And, you know, I mocked him because he went over there to Ukraine and he was singing some Neil Young song. I mocked him. Well, it turns out, I guess he's also a Muddy Waters fan. Now, Muddy Waters, for those people that know the blues, he was a big deal, you know, this past century. People like him and Buddy Guy and Robert Johnson and so forth. So here's the funny thing, dude. I'm not a big blues guy, but here I am. I'm nothing. I'm nobody. I didn't go to Harvard like Tony Blinken did. I never worked for presidents of the United States like Tony Blinken did. But this guy, this loser, this nothing, nobody, I actually visited with Muddy Waters in his kitchen in 1982. It's a fact. It's all true. So Small Crazy World, for those of you that are blues fans. I went to grade school with his daughter. She was like a year older, and they had the second and third grade had to share this one room, and she was a third grader, and she was kind of a meanie. Yeah, the third graders are all mean to us second graders. But anyway, I know you're like, what does this have anything to do with anything? I don't know. I just want to rub it in your face, Anthony, if you're watching this. Okay, I sat down with Muddy. It was only like a year or two before he passed away, unfortunately. But I used to play basketball with his son, too, Joe Morgenfeld Jr. But anyway, yeah, he was a blues legend. He was awesome. So what happened, Logue, is that Muddy was from the Deep South. But he migrated up to Chicago, made a bunch of records, I think, for Chess Records. But then he moved his family out to the burbs. And so he was out there in this little burb called Westmont, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. And they were probably the only black family there for many, many years. I'm sure there's many black families there now, but they were like the only black family there for the longest time. Real nice guy, and just, you know, he lived a pretty quiet life. But there were rumors. We never really know if some stars were coming through Chicago, if they actually took a trip out to Westmont to visit with him. When the Rolling Stones were in town, Muddy would go and he'd play with them at some clubs after their big gig in their arena. You know, they would go play at this other Buddy Guy's place in Chicago. Anyway, just throwing that out there, just a little fun, having a little fun today. But all right, so we got the Trump rally coming up Sunday. It's gonna be a big MAGA rally. If you're in the Washington D.C. area, it's at the Cap One Arena. Is that right, Logan?
I believe so.
3 p.m. All right, and. Well, we're going to wrap the show up here, folks. We'll see what happens. Joe, we're saying bye-bye, Joe. Na. Hey, get the hell out. and Donald's going to be coming in. And, you know, I'll just say, folks, I voted for the man, supported the man. But, you know, if he starts to get goofy or stupid, I'm not going to hold back. I mean, you know, some of this Gulf of America thing, renaming the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, I don't know how that helps our real life problems. But anyway, we'll see what happens. He's got, you know, a lot of mess to clean up, unfortunately, that the Biden-Harris administration has left for America. More debt, more illegals in the country than ever before, drugs. You know, it's such a mess going on out there. Hopefully, we can get back to some common sense here and some good governance, and hopefully the future looks bright. I don't know. Any closing words here, closing comments, my friend?
No.
We're still fucked. Yeah, we're still fucked. All right, there we go, folks. So Happy New Year. Love you all. Thank you to all the people who write comments below, whether you love us or you hate us. Miguel, mwah, love you, Miguel. Dave in Florida. Johnny B down there in Mantino, Illinois, and everybody out there watching. Thank you so much. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Tell a friend. Tell a neighbor, tell a coworker, tell an enemy. I don't care. Say, hey, there's a couple knuckleheads on YouTube. You should check these guys out. All right. And there's the words of Ric Flair. Woo! All right. Mwah. Love you.
You have problems, John.
I have a lot of problems, Logan. You don't know that half of it. Just ask the missus. She'll tell you.